Welcome from the Industry of Things World Asia 2019 here in Singapore. I'm here with Bernard, Philip Bernard.
Hi.
From Western Digital.
Hi, nice to be here, thank you.
Nice to have you here.
Hi.
Can you quickly introduce yourself and what you're doing at Western Digital?
Yeah, my name's Philip Bernard, and I'm VP of Operations, HDD Operations for the region, as well as I take care of the sustaining engineering group also for the region.
So you also opened the Industry of Things World Asia Conference 2019 today for us. Thank you for that. It was a very insightful keynote. What are some of the key takeaways you can share with us today?
Yeah, I was very glad to be the first speaker, and one of the key things I think from my speech was the fact that as we try to scale the Internet of Things into organizations like mine, there needs to be certain strategies, and in our case, the one that we had adopted is think big, implement it, in some small scale, and then quickly implement it across the board, right? Or scale it up fast, right? So, and I think that was one of the key messages I wanted to deliver at the onset of my speech. There was another subtle message that I was trying to deliver, was the fact that there was a human aspect to the whole scaling of or the introduction of Internet of Things into especially a manufacturing type environment. And this was with relation to acceptance. How do we break the barriers? What are the things that we need to look at from a talent perspective? These are things that are seldom considered, and they can actually make or break the implementation of aspects of the Internet of Things or the industry of or I 4.0 into a manufacturing type environment. We got to make sure that we balance both the technical as well as the human aspect.
What are other challenges, successes and achievements you are facing on your digital transformation journey so far? Well,
firstly, I think one of the things we need to do is, what's our business value strategy to bring in the Internet of Things into the manufacturing organization or in the manufacturing flow. We need to look at big data and fast data, and how applications are used in the big data and fast data. And this is one of the areas that I think we did well successfully, both in the implementation of how we used big data, both the hardware and its applications, and then fast data, how we streamed using ML and then AI, and making sure the performance piece of it also was there. This, I think, has been one of our biggest success factors from a manufacturing perspective in my organization.
Mm-hmm. And looking into the future, which technologies do you think will have the most powerful impact on Internet of Things?
I think if I look into the future, and again I go back to big data and fast data, I think there's a number of elements in the Internet of Things, I 4.0 applications that we can derive, that today we can apply to big data and fast data. And these are specifically linked to machine learning and AI. And these are growing at a very, very fast pace. Every day there's something new that is coming up. it's these things that we then apply to these two segments of data that will transform the future. And I think especially ML and ML generated models and AI that is being infused to make decisions will significantly grow the edge for the fast data portion of it. And that will have a lot of applications, whether on a shop floor or even beyond a shop floor.
We will hear more about these topics in the next 2 days here.
Right,
the
right.
conference just started.
Right.
You know our formats already. We have case studies, we have keynotes, we have various interactive sessions.
Yes.
How do you plan to take advantage of our like multi-touchpoint format?
You know, a conference like this is a superb place to exchange ideas. Keynote speakers from like-minded people like myself and industries that are similar. This is the opportunity for us actually to put things on the table and say, you know, oops, yeah, that looks exactly like what I'm seeing in my organization, or it's not exactly the same, but your solution can be tailored to fix our problems. And it's not about, I use vendor X, Y, and Z hardware. It's about the concepts. And I think, and just this morning watching the presenters that their parts after me, the amount of sharing that they gave on case studies, how they saw it, is I think speaks very well for this conference on the openness of the organizations and the speakers in wanting to actually share their experiences. So I think we need to take the opportunity to ask, to listen attentively, and also to share our own experiences. And hopefully it goes beyond this conference, where I was just chatting with somebody next to me, and I was going like, we should form a grouping that shares ideas that are similar in nature. Now, we have to be careful about intellectual property and things like that, but there's no reason why we couldn't share high-level concepts that transcend our industry.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to do here,
Right.
to make it easier for everyone to share knowledge, exchange
yes.
knowledge.
And I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and to be able to do just that.
Yeah, thank you for your insights.
Thank you.
I'm really happy we have you here
Thank you.
this year
Thanks.
and everything. Yeah.
Thank you.